Hi, this is Kerry Artek with Wicked Stocks, bringing you your daily Apple report for Monday, March 6, 2023. Before we move through the charts and go over today's analysis, just want to ask you to please click like if you would, subscribe to the Wicked Stocks YouTube channel. Please share the content with friends and colleagues, and check out the content that we offer at wickedstocks.com. We put out a daily Triple Q, daily SPY report. We put out 2 individual stock picks every week. The weekly S&P 500 index, the weekly NASDAQ 100 index, and the weekly TLT. I'm going to show a little bit of that actually today, all for one subscription price. So there's a lot to be had at wickedstocks.com that you never see on our YouTube channel. Anyway, we start with the big picture and we work our way in. We came off in early January this targeted long-term support in the 120s. And following that test, anticipating a possible test of the channel top presently at 170 even by some point this year. We do still remain in the grips of a 3 to 5 month buy signal that played out about a month ago when we gapped above and settled above this descending channel top that is presently at 141.55 and dropping daily. I thought we were going to test this last week. We didn't. We reversed hard. And so now the question begs, what now? So I can go over that now on kind of a short-term basis for the week itself. Last week, we did open just above this zone of resistance that is still in the 147 handle, now support 147.39 to 147.47. Combination descending 1/3 speed line based in part on last Thursday's low and this long-standing 3-week channel bottom that is pretty sloppy but still there, and I like it still because it is so closely correlated with the speed line. This is our pullback support for the day and our pullback support into later week, and above which I'm expecting possibly today, you could almost call this the day trade range, that if we test 147.39 to 147.39, we could within the day reach into this 151.83 to 152.38 area. And this is considered an objective anyway. I'm going to call it a 1 to 3 day target. One day would be today. And in fact, assuming we open above 150.34, an intraday support level, we should test 151.83 to 152.38 intraday, where we can top out into the middle of the week and following that test, presumably today, fall back into the 147 handle within 1 to 2 days, say by Wednesday's close, where we could then bottom out through Friday. We could trade inside this zone for the next few days, possibly the next 3 to 5 days. But I will mention that the longer term trend, the 3 to 5 month dynamic, remains constructive, remains bullish, anticipating the low 170s. So, closing above 152.38 should not come as a great surprise. That would be an aggressive reversal if you shorted this area. If you're an aggressive day trader, if you're an aggressive 2 to 3 day swing trader, you're selling 151.83 to 152.38. But obviously, if we close above it, you need to reverse, because over the next possibly 3 to 5 days, the way this is playing out, by the end of next week at the latest, we should then reach this meaningful zone of resistance that is in the lower 160s, 160.01 to 160.49. Descending 2/3 speed line, combination 5/8 Fibonacci retracement. This is an area that, if tested between now and the end of next week, and once again, it is considered a 1 to 2 week target, possibly within 3 to 5 days of closing above 152.38. This upper area able to absorb buying on a weekly basis, possibly into April. We could fall off from here. And if we close above 160.01, over the next week or two, then we enter another phase of meaningful follow-through buying the following 2 to 3 weeks, then in reach of this 172.56 channel top, where a high can be placed into Q3, possibly the balance of the year. And that pretty much covers the upside. Let's talk downside again today, that if we break or open below 150.34, we could ease back to 147.39, 147.47 is also this channel bottom, the combination of the two illustrated right here. And so if we happen to Well, if we break 147.39, that would be some unexpected fundamental news or something that would enter the market, technically speaking, on its own. Still expecting the low 150s here probably today. But if we happen to break 147.39, there is the possibility of testing 145.34. Now, if you've been following the Daily Apple Report for the last a few weeks, you know that this 145.34 was at one time considered a four-star support when it coincided with that 141.55 long-term channel bottom. But it's continuing to move higher on a day-by-day basis, and I still have it only as a session containment level. Hi, if you enjoy watching our daily Apple report, you'll love our daily Triple Q and SPY reports. They're presented in the same 5 to 10 minute video format. Our daily SPY and Triple Q analysis provides directional market signals that are correlated with highly specific price support and resistance levels. Whether your trading time horizon is short or longer term, we promise you a distinctive edge in your trading of the SPY and Triple Q. We offer a 5-day, no questions asked, money-back guarantee. So go to wickedstocks.com right now and start receiving your daily SPY and daily Triple Q reports today. And so, but you know, this stuff can get pretty subjective. This is what I sort of wring my hands over for sometimes, a good portion of time before I submit these reports and do all the analysis. I get all the numbers down and I take a look at, what is the dynamic. I went with the sell signal about a week ago below this structure, anticipating 141.55, this channel top as a 3 to 5 day target. In the interim, we tested the rising speed line. So the point I'm making here is, as we continue through the week and this channel bottom descends, so does that speed line descend. This area will all converge over the next 3 or 4 days. 145.34 rather, rising on a daily basis over the next few days, converging entirely with this whole region at 147, 47, 147.39. Where are you again? Right here. So, that area is over the next few days converging with this speed line. And so here's what I'm trying to say that I'm struggling with. I have it shown as a down pivot. Actually, that's not proper. It should be up, down pivot here, up pivot here. But if we close below 147.39, I'm suggesting that we could fall to 141.55 within the week. But, by a hair, and this is very marginal, this is subjective. In other words, you could also consider 145.34 part of a base of support now that could contain selling into later March. And as we continue into later week, this area, 145.34, rises, converges with the 147 handle support, and I will be beefing it up to a 3-star, maybe a 4-star support area. 3-star anyway, weekly containment. This zone, able to absorb perhaps, I'm talking all the way down to 145.34, selling through the week, and above which we can push into the low 160s. Remember, the big picture does still remain bullish, which is to say the big picture through Q2 into Q3, a 3 to 5 month buy signal above 141.55 remains in play. And so this sell-off has been a bit counter trend in nature. And so I'll just kind of leave it at that. Let me jump into, let me continue fleshing out this concept because I don't really want to leave any confusion. If we happen to, you can treat this one of two ways. If I like dipping into this zone on an intraday basis, all the way down to 145.34. If your time frame is 2 to 3 weeks, you can buy this area. You've got my quote unquote blessing into we'll call it this narrowing zone between 145.34 and 147.47. You can consider this kind of a 3-star support that may contain selling for the week itself, and above which you could consider the low 160s now a 2 to 3 week target that does essentially become confirmed with a settlement today above 152.38. So that's concept number one. Now, even if we close below that 147.47 level, which is shown really here. So if we close below this area, even if we test that 145.34 rising speed line and it holds, if we close below 147.39, I think this market, given the fact that you've got a low 147 handle, we got 147.33 was Friday's low. If we close below all that, I can't see this, but anything but bearish. And so despite the fact that I like this speed line, it is still a trend-defining study. I like it on an intraday basis, slipping into this zone. If your time frame is 2 to 3 weeks, you can certainly have at the 145.34 to 147.47 get long zone over that time frame, anticipating the low 160s over the next 2 to 3 weeks. But if we close, even if we close just below, the 147.39 level, I think your 3 to 5 day time frame shifts negative again. And we should then, over the next few days, 3 to 5 at the most, test this long-term support at 141.55, where we can bottom out, as I say, into later Q2 and continue higher. Now, if over the coming week or so we close below 141.55, all bets are off. This market can continue unraveling all the way back into the lower 120s again within a matter of a month or two. Now, I think I've pretty much fleshed it out. Your 1 to 2 week swing trade, if you're not long now, you go long above 152.38. If you're more of a 1 to 3 day swing trade, you're selling the low 150s, buying 147 even. If we close below 147.39, then you're holding out for 141.55, which is your long-term area of support. The only exception to this, as I said earlier, is you could, on an intraday basis, consider this a zone of support to buy into for the week, anticipating the low 160s over the next few weeks. But if we merely close below that 147.39 level, which you can see once again right here, then I think I wouldn't be long unless you can endure a continued weakness into the 141.55 area later in the week. And that is all I've got for Monday's Daily Apple Report. Please click like and subscribe. I'll be back tomorrow with Tuesdays, and you have a great day.